At Newman's, the books must first be put into a fumigation chamber, where for a fortnight they are subjected to the vapour from crystals of thymol, which will kill all moulds, insects such as bookworms and silverfish, and other pests. The old animal glue is steamed off the back of a book to be repaired, using an ordinary kettle and scraped away with a knife. The book will then be rebacked with new leather. Cathal O'Grady is an expert in restoration work. Old pages sometimes need to be cleaned. This is the portrait of Dennis Hempson from Bunting's second volume of the Ancient Music of Ireland. Sometimes a kind of dry cleaning is used by means of draft cleaning powder, which lifts the stains without removing old inscriptions. By water came the stain on this plate of the Galway harp, and by water it departs. There's the engraved title page. The stain removed. Richard Ferns specializes in the repair of paper. He selects a sheet of long fibred Japanese rice paper. It must not be cut out to make the repair, but carefully pricked around in a shape which will mate with the torn original. And then itself must be torn so as to retain the strength of the long overlapping fibers. In the restoration of old and valuable books, only natural, water-soluble adhesives and animal glues must be used. Often the pages of old books which have become weakened through use are reinforced by a strip of special paper which is laminated by heat to the edge of the old page. Finally, the surplus is trimmed off. Cathal O'Grady is taking the decorated back off an old binding, using a very sharp knife with surgical skill. This is a very time-consuming job and calls for incredible concentration and patience. He gets it off in one piece, like a man shearing a sheep. Now the new leather is wrapped round the back and tucked in under the old, like the lead flashing on a roof. The leather is nipped in over the 6 bands with a pair of special band-nipping pliers. Finally, the old back is put on again. The same process that we saw before, gold leaf and glare, is being used for the lettering of the titles of this old book. Noel Dunne takes the tool off the heater, cools it, and applies it, rocking it slightly. The surplus gold is removed, and the hole tidied up. and very neat it looks. These are Victorian decorative tools, mostly of the romantic kind, incorporating interlace and other motifs from the high crosses in the Book of Kells. Latane decoration. There's a triquetra. The tools used by the 18th century Irish binders were quite different from these, but even more distinctively Irish. An ornamental flower is put in the centre of a panel. The individually hand-bound book is a rarity today, but the same skills are needed for the repair and restoration of older bindings, and so the continuity of the craft is assured.